What's one of the dumbest things you've ever spent money on? Chef Boyardee beefaroni. One summer, because I was hella bored, I bought some Chef Boyardee beefaroni and put it in my friend's mailbox as a prank. He didn't find it, but his parents did, and they asked their neighbors who did it. He suspected me at first, but I managed to get him off of my tail. Now our neighborhoods were fairly close to each other, so I could be over there in a 15-minute walk. Every night, I walked up to their neighborhood. Walking anywhere at 2 am is creepy as hell, but the Boyardee bandit does not stop for demons and put a can of beefaroni inside their mailbox. After about a month, they call the police to find out who's putting beefaroni in their mailbox. Luckily the police really didn't care that much and just told them to get a camera, which they eventually did. Meanwhile my friend is telling me all of this from his perspective. Right. So I usually know what they do before I strike. So I start covering my face and pretend to hunch over. I have no idea where this camera is, so I can never be too careful. They call the cops again and give them a profile, and now the cops are looking for a crippled beefaroni bandit. After a solid 3 months of this shit, one of the baggers at the store gets word somehow and starts getting suspicious because he sees me buying tons of beefaroni. He confronts me. I tell him the truth, and I shit you not, he starts helping me beefaroni my friend's house. We're putting it all over, hiding it in the lawns, porch, fence, you name it. Halloween rolls around, and I dress up as Chef Boyardee. I go to my friend's house and say, your daily subscription to Chef Boyardee beefaroni has ended. Would you like to renew? I hear laughter in the background, and it's the store clerk. Turns out he recently started dating best friend's sister, and that's how he heard. Truth be told, I don't think I've ever been punched harder than when my friend found out. Good times. We still laugh about it from time to time. TLDR. Bought and hid Chef Boyardee beefaroni for nearly half a year around my best friend's house. The beefaroni bandit strikes again. When I was like 14, I bought a pack of intentionally mismatched socks that were really expensive. Like, only one of each pattern. Could have bought twice as many normal socks and just mismatched them myself. When I went on a school field trip to Washington DC back in middle school, I bought a $2 bill at a souvenir shop for $20. SMH. I bought a timeshare. I was drunk and bought Monster Ballads off an infomercial. And I paid an extra $20 for rush delivery because I was drunk and needed it ASAP, and it showed up a month later. A copy of Cory in the House for the Nintendo DS, except FO $30 in 2019. I was just a few weeks out of basic training and bought one of those family lineage with the shields on it and description. I blew $500 or so bucks just to find out it wasn't even accurate. I spent $40 one of those amusement park booths where you had to throw darts at balloons. For some reason, I picked out this really ugly 7 feet tall frog stuffed animal. It's in the corner of my closet and still scares me when I'm half awake in the morning. I bought a make-it-yourself music box with a series of cards to punch out the notes and then insert so you can play whatever tune you want. Thought I could make my GF a special gift. Then I realized that I can't read music, and when I tried to punch it by ear it sounded bloody awful. I once went to a novelty/thrift shop that had a ton of random shit. Ended up spending $10 on a framed picture of Count Dooku, Darth Sidious and Jango Fett from Star Wars, since my GF thought it was funny. The frame recently broke, and I found out after seeing the back of the picture it was from a calendar when Attack of the Clones came out. Someone just cut this picture out of an old calendar, put it in a frame, and my dumbass voluntarily spent $10 on it. I'd had a few drinks, TGIF, and wandered into a Williams-Sonoma store in a state of euphoria. There I saw a special edition KitchenAid stand mixer made in bronze that was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. It was on sale for $999. Naturally, I bought it, but because I'm a single guy who doesn't bake, it's just taking up much needed counter space. A pocket pussy. It was back when me and my wife were still dating. We were out of town for a concert, a festival, or maybe just the weekend, and there was this big, heavily advertised and kinda posh adult shop just a block or two down the road from a hotel. The last day of our trip, we didn't have anything planned, so we ended up going into this shop. They had a whole floor devoted to dildos and vibrators, and my wife found one she really liked. I started joking around about how they have all these toys for women and nothing for guys, and one of the shop employees overheard. He brought us up to the 3rd floor and showed us this large-ish section that was all sex toys. It was like 4 whole rows, each one 20 foot long, packed to the brim with silicone pussy. They had feet with pussies, hands with pussies, tits with and without pussies, headless and limbless torsos, mouths of all variety and a whole line of head to toe, life-size sex dolls. Most of it was really expensive, but I managed to find this one that had a glove attached to a pussy and butthole for like $40. So I bought it. We paid for our purchases and went back to the hotel to have fun. My wife really liked her toy, and after a while she asked if I wanted to use mine. I thought about it for just a second and then said no. We had our fun, packed up the next morning and left. I stuck the pocket pussy on our coffee table to mess with some friends who were coming over the next day. After the friends left, it ended up in the back of our closet and stayed there through a move in more than a decade, until my 6-year-old found it last November. The blanket that makes you look like a giant burrito. It was super thin and of poor quality, not to mention not big enough to cover me. Now I'll never look like a burrito. There was this guy named Don Lapper who sold money making kits, like how to make money with classified ads. I think I invested about $350 and received literally nothing of value. I was young and being stupid. Looked him up tonight to remember how to spell his name. Turns out he killed himself with a razor blade while in jail in 2011. I bought a pager. The clip snapped. I took it to where I bought it. We only cover the pager, not the case. I walked outside right in front of the window and spiked the shit out 8F it. Walked back inside and said my pager is broken. I was pretty high one night and bought a pull net handle, one of the 16-foot metal ones, in order to turn off the living room lights from the couch. Sorry I've been sleeping, haha. I'll try and answer all the questions I've seen. Most importantly, it does work. It's heavy when fully extended, but there's a rail I can balance it on between me and the light. Takes a bit of practice. I also do remember thinking about getting smart lights, but honestly I'm renting this house and it's a wall switch, so I didn't want to take it apart to make it smart. For $25, I can't say I regret this one. It sits behind my couch in a little gap, so it's not too much of an eyesore. I haven't broken anything yet. Emphasis on yet. I'm sure I will. No, I don't have a pool. I was 11 and my dad gave me $50 to spend at the mall. So I wandered into a gift shop and spent it all on an electronic vibrating oinking pink pig. I never played with it after I brought it home. Tried to return it, only to be offered store credit. A 155 pack of condoms. A week after I had a vasectomy. Complete brain dead moment. Got drunk and started ordering ninja gear off of Amazon and forgot about it until it showed up like a week later. Swords, nunchucks, a suit and mask. Most expensive dumb thing. A Mercedes 500 cell. Literally bankrupt myself buying parts and gas for that effing land yacht. Sold it for half what I paid and felt lucky to be rid of it. Dumbest dumb thing. A metallic gold laden painting of a Pontiac Firebird. It uses white trash, and I had planned on putting it in a family gift exchange as a joke, but didn't end up going, and got stuck with it. It's currently hanging in a storage room, like all classy paintings do. When I was 19, I got a construction job that paid fairly well. Stupid me got all hot and horny for a fun car. I signed up for a 5-year loan after test driving the first one. I ended up having engine failure almost 2 years later. Because it was a used car, and from a shady used car dealer, the warranty was well expired. I couldn't afford to get a new engine for it, so I ended paying over 3 years for a car that I wasn't driving. Edit. Since I've been getting messages and replies saying it's your fault, you didn't maintain the car. That car was my baby. I worked on it every day and loved it for the short period of time I had it. Now, this car had what is called a Wankel rotary. These are not reliable engines. The apex seals blow as they are basically as thick and durable as the graphite in a pencil. Mazda RX-8s are notoriously unreliable. I did not know this 8 years ago as I hadn't done much research. The more you know. If you want to prove how tough you are, this is not the place. I do not care. I had fun with my car and learned a lot from the experience. And if you think this is the dumbest thing I have ever done, you're very wrong. Big wedding. All that money, cold helped so many problems we had later. Divorced anyway. Please like and subscribe. Thanks.